I don't know what's going on. I know what happened with Smugalana because she got banned for what, reacting to mosquito clips. What happened with Shoe0nHead this time?
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So I'll be honest with you guys, this is one of those videos where the subject matter featured in it is going to be a very grim one. Every time you think you've been completely blackpilled by social media users and their insane behavior, trust me, it's going to get only worse. Now, why is Shoe0nHead featured here? Well, she's been very vocal about the situation.
Now, I'm not sure what happened with Shoe0nHead at all. I know she was talking against Lindsay Clancy, which I believe, like, the situation is not as black and white as people make it seem. And anybody who's solely blaming the husband is just uninformed or a radicalized feminist, usually the latter. But I've seen Shoe0nHead do nothing worth criticism besides speak the truth. But then again, I guess in 2026, that is such.
And she's been taking the brunt of the crazies on social media and also being accused of concocting this entire situation and the insane response on social media. Now, what is this situation? Well, right now, there is a very high-profile case going on involving an individual named Lindsay Clancy. Now,
if you don't know Lindsay Clancy, she took way too much drugs she shouldn't have been on, prescribed by doctors that shouldn't have prescribed it to her, and then she killed her 3 kids and attempted to kill herself and paralyze herself. And now everyone's blaming the husband, even though he wasn't even there when it happened, because he was gone for 15 minutes to get medicine for his eldest daughter. The children were 5, 3, and 1 years old. She killed them all within the span of 12 minutes. Yeah, insane story.
She is accused of offing her 3 children, strangulating them, 5 minutes apiece. Now, her defense is that she was not legally culpable for her actions because she was in a state of psychosis.
It's complete bullshit. If you are a person who's that mentally broken, you should be fucking put down as well. I think it's ridiculous. People say he was mentally unwell to stand fit. Your Honor, my client is retarded. They can't stand fit or can't stand trial for their crimes. It's complete fucking bullshit. I can't believe we even permit this type of behavior.
Given her postpartum depression. Now, postpartum depression is a very real thing, and it makes sense, right? When a woman gives birth, their hormones are...
She was also claiming postpartum psychosis, not postpartum depression.
Completely out of...
20% of women in the United States suffer from depression. 20% of women claim they suffer from postpartum depression. It's just depressed women who are still depressed. The problem is all of the major analysts and statistics for postpartum depression are taken without... Like, they're not checking normal people who become depressed. They're checking all women who become depressed who are depressed. So if you're a depressed woman and you give birth, they will now label your depression as postpartum depression. It's actually, in my opinion, a massive fucking scam.
Whack, and it might have a very serious impact on them.
Or let me rephrase it. It's a mislabel. I think it's just depressed women who remain depressed after birth, not women who become depressed. It's not as big a phenomenon as they claim, which is what, 1 in 5 women will suffer from it? Yeah, fucking right. The statistic isn't even done.
Mental health.
But what
happened here is truly evil. And what's also evil is the reaction on social media, including from thousands of mothers who are empathizing with the rage she expressed towards her children. In fact, right now, there's a trend on TikTok, #SameLindsay, where people, including mothers, are holding their own newborns.
They're holding their newborn children, saying how they also fantasize about killing their children. And these guys think they're the good guys, by the way.
Expressing support for what she did. In fact, at the trial, thousands of women are showing up and showing their support and love for Lindsay. In fact, today, there is a planned stand-in.
Sorry, buddy, but it's pretty real. I have 4 kids. Hey, man, you can say that, but I think you and I can both agree that the overrepresentation of postpartum depression, as if it's this epidemic that breaks out the moment a woman has a kid, where 20% of women become depressed after they have a child, is incredibly overrepresented. It may happen in select few, but it's not 1 in 5 women. And you should know this based on the basics of how they get their statistics for who has PPD or not. It is drastically overrepresented, just like the COVID death numbers.
Peace protest against what's happening here. And it gets even worse. There's a GoFundMe that's about to cross $1 million.
Insane.
Oh, you thought that was bad? Well, right now it's very popular on social media, including TikTok, to prop up cameras and do performative crime pieces like this, where they say they're never going to be okay and they empathize with what Lindsay did. In fact, it gets even worse. Now, thousands of mothers are posting deranged, psychotic episodes of them violently expressing their hatred of their own children.
Yep.
In support of Lindsey Graham.
This is literally, and I'm just being completely honest, and you can call me crazy, you can call me misogynist, I don't care. postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis are incredibly overrepresented, and they're doing this intentionally. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want you to believe that if you have kids, you become miserable. And so now women are seeing this as the popular thing to once again scare up and coming mothers to have kids, to once again push the narrative that they want to push, which is to not have kids. And it is all by design. And I'm telling you, it's all by design. We see this with the LGBTQ movement, where they're telling people to sterilize themselves. You're seeing this in anti-natalist propaganda saying having a husband is actually oppressive, really. And if you have a kid, it ruins your chance of being successful in the business. And actually, listening to your husband is oppressive, but listening to a man who hates you is actually very empowering. And now this is the next step. This will be the next wave. PPD, PPP. They're all going to say that having a kid makes you miserable, psychotic, and depressed. And I'm telling you, you can fall for the propaganda or you can get well-researched. It's complete fucking bullshit, and I believe that with my entire heart. It might be a thing for rare, select few. It's not as a worldwide phenomenon as it's being pushed. It's complete bullshit.
Like, you literally cannot make this up, ladies and gentlemen.
PPD is real, though. You can't say is a scam is wild. Once again, I'm going to say this. I'll clarify my stance. I believe there is a chance that PPD is real with hormones and progesterone and estrogen levels at an all-time high, roller coasting up and down, up and down, up and down. I have a feeling that there is a chance that it can be real. But the problem is when a depressed woman has birth and is now considered suffering from PPD, I think that's a bullshit statistic. 20% of women in America have depression. That is the highest it's ever been in history. The moment they have kids, the depression is now labeled as postpartum depression. And by the way, the PPD rate is reported in the United States as 20%, the exact same statistic as the women who have depression in the United States. While it may be a thing that your hormones are all over the place, I don't believe that giving birth causes 1 in 5 women to be depressed. I don't believe that. I think it's completely overrepresented, and it is. Based on how they gather their statistic, it is already admitted that it is blatantly overrepresented. Because if PPD is not represented by how many normal women who aren't depressed then become depressed post-birth, the statistic and the overrepresentation of it is and I'll stand on this, a complete fucking scam. There is no way that is the proper way to garner the statistic of who suffers from PPD or not. It's fucking nuts. It's like saying, oh, postpartum racism, because after this person who was already racist has a kid and now they're still racist. So actually, they have postpartum racism. So you can't blame them for that. Why the fuck would you check with people who already have an issue, then they give birth, and then you say having birth is what caused that issue? It's completely retarded. Anyways, we're back. It's an excuse to prescribe more drugs? True, we're back.
And you can see on Twitter, people are saying she's not responsible for anything that happened in a response to a tweet by Bryson Gray here. Yep. And then you see people on TikTok as well saying that the patriarchy is responsible for what happened here. Oh, but it gets worse. Now there's people on TikTok saying that the husband should have been the target of this violence. And some married women are saying, yes, this should happen to the husbands. Divorce immediately, by the way. But here's even another layer of the craziness here. People, these TikTok true crime junkies, are now making up fan fictions that it was the husband who did this, and then he framed his wife, which is insane. Give me 2 minutes to describe how insane this is, okay? Number one, the husband was caught on camera at a store while this was happening. But of course, social media users are claiming
birth should make you happy, yes, but some people get PPD and they don't kill their kids. True. I'm sure you'd agree that the United States currently reporting that 1 in 5 people getting PPD after birth is a blatant overrepresentation, and trying to take something that happens to the minority of women and say it applies to 20% of them is blatant overrepresentation meant to scare people to have kids. I'm sure you and I can agree to that. I'm sure we can find middle ground to agree that is a blatant overrepresentation of the estrogen, progesterone, fluctuating emotions. And also, yes, PPD doesn't mean to murder your fucking kids.
He had a doppelganger that was covering for him out in the public. Insane. But we don't even need to debate whether or not she did it. That is not something they're questioning at the trial. Her defense...
I'm agreeing, holy shit. Okay, great.
They know she did it. Their defense is that she was legally insane because of her condition at the time, and that she was basically in a state of psychosis. She blacked out, did the stuff, woke up later and was like, my God, what have I done? That's their defense. Now, for the TikTok enthusiasts and really anyone out there, pleading insanity in American court system is insanely hard, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Less than 1% of insanity pleas actually work, okay? And even if you are successful in that plea, it's not like you get to go home and like nothing happened. You go to a psych ward,
Yep.
probably for the rest of your life.
Yep.
They're basically saying that no, she shouldn't go to
She should either be in a psych ward or a prison or killed. Because the reality is, and as awful it is, that she killed her fucking kids, guys. You gotta understand. If you killed your 3 kids, you just can't be a part of society anymore. I'm sorry, you can't. You cannot be locked up or committed for the rest of your life or be put to death. There is in no world, insane or not, where individuals should be allowed to kill their kids then claim insanity. Because if you're that insane, you're not safe for society. And someone must pay for what happens to your kids.
prison, but instead should be in psychiatric care for a very long time. And most of the time, when someone gets a successful insanity defense granted, they spend more time in the ward than they would have in prison, because at the end of the day, insanity defense or no, the person is not someone who is fit to live in society.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
the fact that people are coming up with these
100%.
theories about the husband is absolutely deranged. And if you want some
Yep.
somewhat good news, some of these psychos on TikTok who are expressing their support of Lindsay are being investigated by child services.
Good. They should be.
Well, you know, that shouldn't be.
If you are claiming that you are having psychotic urges to kill your children and you admit that publicly, you absolutely should be investigated by CPS and you should lose your child. Absolutely. There is in no way you should be allowed to talk about this publicly, to be so belligerent, to be so blatant about wanting to kill your child. You lose your kid then. Okay. You lose your kid. They're gone. You don't get them anymore. No exception. Fuck all these dumbass bitches.
Too surprising when you're posting stuff like this, literally holding your newborn as you say it. But let's get to Shoe0nHead. Shoe0nHead, as a mother, has been very
I would like to go on record. Love Shoe0nHead. I think they're great for the internet. I think they are an incredibly well-spoken female content creator, and I enjoy quite a lot of their videos. Very, very, very based individual.
vocal about the situation, exercising that one thing that all these wackadoos really hate, and that is common sense and just a tinge of humanity. So she shared posts like this saying over $700,000 now raised for a woman who strangled her 3 children to the end with exercise ropes. Every single donation is from a woman, hundreds of thousands of women in a TikTok true crime psychosis where they believe the husband did it because he looks mean. Here's another post where she responded saying, thousands of women online right now creating true crime fan fiction about the man who had to come home and see all 3 of his little innocent children brutally offed like that because sisterhood or something. I hope he sues these idiots on TikTok. She literally chased down one of them. Imagine how scared and confused they were. It actually makes me so sick. I cried like 3 times researching all this, and I had to take a break.
I want to remind you, Lindsay Clancy strangled to death her 5, 3, and 1-year-old in front of each other. These kids, they don't know what that is. They probably thought they were playing a game. They thought they were probably playing pretend. And they had to feel the air slowly leave their fucking lungs as they couldn't breathe because they're confused why their mom is probably hugging them so tight. And they're all fucking dead. And people have no sympathy for these children because they only want to punish the man and find a way to make this a man-bad situation. And it's heartbreaking. And I try very hard to not think about it. As a man who desperately wants to be a father, it hurts my very soul to hear this story. And while we should have sympathy for the children and we should have sympathy for the father to move past with his life and have to deal with something, I don't think there's anything worse in life that you can experience. Instead, we're making this a man-bad situation. It's disgusting.
And here's some of the defenses people are proudly sharing. People saying, my 3-year-old daughter took one look at him and said, that's a bad guy.
There it is.
Or how about this? Someone asking if there's a reason why you don't think the evidence and admitting she did it is enough. And they say, LOL, intuition.
There's something I really want to say about women who use intuition as reasoning, but I'm not going to do that. Let's move forward.
There's a lot of evidence that is still being uncovered. And of course, people are crafting more theories about the husband, where they say in posts like this, we've learned a lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband as the trial has played out, yada, 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 and that he failed his wife and kids. Yes, it's the husband's fault that she strangled their 3 children. Yeah, it's the husband. Well, here's the problem, right? You can see a note that is applied to the previous tweet saying Patrick Clancy, the husband, took 12 weeks of paternity leave and began working from home following the end of his leave. He was actively involved in the parenting and his wife's medical treatments. Where Shoe would reply, end quote, saying, we've learned a lot more about Lindsay Clancy's husband, end quote. You watched some TikToks by Pitbull Mama78, who told you about Lindsay Clancy's husband using her intuition and tarot cards or some stupid stuff.
God.
Shut the F up.
Yep.
And then TMZ,
Yep.
in their infinite wisdom and embarrassing coverage as per usual, saying Patrick Clancy spotted with a new wife amid ex-wife Lindsay's murder trial.
It's been 3 years and 7 months since all this occurred. The husband probably wants to get on with his life and move forward from a tragic accident that occurred to him. I think 3 years and 7 months is probably enough time to want to get on with his life and have new kids to pay homage to the ones that he lost. So why don't we just leave this guy the fuck alone?
And again, a note is applied saying it's been 3 years and 7 months since his ex-wife offed his children.
Yep.
Yeah, because apparently if your now ex-wife offs your children, 3 years later you're not allowed to move on.
Yep.
In fact, you're the problem.
Fucking ridiculous.
They're more mad at you
Fucking outrageous.
than the wife and the demonic acts she did. But Shoe adds on saying,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've moved on from like abusive relationships within like fucking 48 hours. Okay? People move on from things at different speeds. I think we can all agree moving on from that 3 years and 7 months later is totally fucking fine. Like, it's totally fucking fine. What are they supposed to do? Just be sad and depressed the rest of their fucking life? Like, 3 years is well enough time.
Happened 3 years ago, by the way, but I guess
people cope in different ways. This is completely fine. Anybody who has a problem with this is retarded.
Never allowed to try and live a normal life and to be a father again after finding his 3 children brutally offed by his ex. And here's another post by Shoe saying, if you are dating a woman, ask her about this viral case being talked about where a woman strangled her 3 kids. If she is on her side or thinks the husband did it, her brain has been fried by TikTok, and you need to break up with her now. Showing some of the people saying you'll never make me hate Lindsay Clancy, and also people hypothesizing in their fan fictions that the husband was the one who did this and then framed the wife.
Jesus.
And here's someone trying to basically gaslight everyone. Like, you've seen just the tiniest bit of all these viral posts, but you've seen enough. But people are gaslighting, saying it's amazing how much of Shoe0nHead's discourse is her pretending that TikTok and Twitter is real life and getting mad about it. And she says this, the hundreds of thousands of women on TikTok liking, posting, defending, donating to the woman who offed her children don't exist in the real world. They just exist in the realm of TikTok, not real life walking amongst us. Fascinating. And here's one final post, and this is it's just sad.
This one's gonna hurt to look at, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This one's gonna get you right in the feels. This photo's heartbreaking.
Like, this whole situation is so evil. And the reactions are also incredibly evil. She says this, referring to the kids. They were probably so scared and confused. It makes me so sick every single time I think about it, and I have to go hug my son. She really needs to effing fry. And every one of these regarded schmores supporting her, projecting themselves onto her, needs to be neutered.
Based God.
These people are evil.
Yes, they are.
They are genuinely evil.
Yes, they are.
I'm telling you, evil exists in the world, and when you realize it, it starts to somewhat make more sense, because it's really hard to grasp.
When you're 5'3", 1-year-old, and your mother, the woman who's supposed to love you more than anything else, is coming at you and strangling you with the fucking rope, you don't know what's going on. You don't think I'm being killed right now. You have no idea what's going on. And slowly the life will fade from your eyes, and it's heartbreaking to even think about. And people are blaming the husband for this. It's fucking unbelievable. Any chance to shit on men, guys. Any chance to shit on men.
How people are supporting this stuff. Giving $1 million to this woman.
Unbelievable.
Saying, same, Lindsay. And also using their kids as props, having
Don't you think it's scary that people gave them $1 million from women who want to fucking kill their children?
psychotic, violent outbursts regarding their own children and posting it publicly?
Unbelievable.
This is genuine evil.
Yep.
Okay, at this point, guys, I'm worried the 19th Amendment is going to be repealed from this case. Like, that's how bad things are going right now.
Yeah. This is
It has
awful.
been an eye-opener for millions of people in this situation.
Been saying this shit. Bro, I've been covering this shit extensively on my fucking Twitter. This is a very clear reason on why the 19th Amendment needs to be repealed. Anyone participating in the same Lindsay trend needs to be investigated by CPS immediately. A woman violently murdering her 3 infant children should be this relatable, you sick fucks. Repealing the 19th gets closer and closer every time a new feminist trend goes viral. It's absolutely true. This shit is fucking disgusting.
Just keeps getting worse, and it's not getting better anytime soon. But at the end of the day, at least
what the fuck does this woman even need $2 million for? So she can kill another family? What are we doing?
light is being shown on evil here, okay? The evil nature of these people is being exposed, and no one's forcing it, right? They're doing this on their own volition.
Yep.
Think about that. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for more daily uploads, as well as...
Absolutely fucking disgusting. Rest in peace to the children. God bless the father. And shame on all of the women who are covering this shit in a positive light. This is fucking foul.